Ladies, gentlemen, and boys and girls all around the globe, welcome back to Panthers Corner. Let's talk about some Panther football. Let's jump right into it and let's have a discussion. CK, my man, my co-host, my brother from another mother, training camp has arrived. We've had 2 days of training camp. We've had back together Saturday was today. Your boy's going to training camp Monday. I'm excited, trying to get some autos. See my man Bryce in action live. But yeah, man, we're both pretty excited. We finally are able to talk about some football. We're gonna have a Pack the Bank episode come out this week because we got some big things to talk about. I ain't gonna give nothing away yet. But we got some huge news to talk about. Some stuff dropped tonight. Today is July 29th. So if you're watching this, you remember what happened on July 29th. And all I'm going to say is it happened in Indianapolis. Boom, into discussion. Now.
Wow. I wonder what it could be.
Right. It's getting crazy out here. All right? We've seen some crazy things this week from the Carolina Panthers.
Fact.
We've seen Bryce Young cook. We're going to talk about Bryce Young. We're going to talk about Bryce last because you saved the best for last.
Fact.
We're gonna talk about the wide receivers. We're not gonna talk about Miles Sanders. You know why? Because Miles Sanders is the dog. So no reason to talk about that. We're gonna talk about the offensive line. We're gonna talk about Brian Burns.
BB.
We're gonna talk about C.J. Henderson, and not in a negative way. We're gonna talk about the punt return position. What's happening here and there. We're gonna talk about the tight end position. And how are we going to start this off? We're going to start this off on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to start talking about Kamu Hill. He's got another name in there somewhere, and I can't pronounce it, so not doing it. But this man has been eaten. And at the end of the day, training camp is training camp. Everybody looks good against air. Everybody looks good in practice because we've seen it before. But Kamu Hill is looking very nice. Pretty sure you had a pick six the other day.
So I'm looking at something from PanthersWire.com, and it says for the second straight practice, linebacker Kamu Hill picked off veteran quarterback Andy Dalton during team drills in Spartanburg. So he has 2 picks in however many days have been doing training, about 4 days, something like that. But he did it back-to-back days against the veteran QB and Andy Dalton, and I believe Shaq Thompson said Kamu's one of those guys that's just a silent killer. So I think, well, what I said a couple days ago whenever it first happened was this could be, again, take this with a grain of salt, I'm kind of just using it as a comparison, but with Frankie Louvu. When we signed him from the Jets, no one expected him to do what he did last season when he had, 19 tackles for loss, I want to say? No one expected him to do that when you first signed him. But then he balled out in training camp, and then he balled out in the preseason, and then he balled out during the season. Then he comes into year 2, does 19 tackles for loss, and now we feel pretty good about him. This could potentially be the next version of that to an extent. Obviously, I'm not expecting to sit here and get another Frankie Louvu where it's 19 tackles for loss, but you might get a valuable contributor at the linebacker position, which you needed very badly, in my opinion.
Agree. If anything, Kamu could just be a rotational linebacker, or even put him on the edge, coming off as a stand-up edge, and run him a couple times during the game. Even if it's just for certain packages, I'm not against it. So, so good for him, man. Real quick, a big thing, a kind of a something that hasn't been talked about very much, but needs to be kind of more talked about, is your punt return. Are going to be our punt returner. I guess punt and kick returners. But I feel like the battle is between Shi Smith and Damiere Byrd.
Agreed.
Because at the end of the day, whichever one of these two, in my opinion, gets this job, the other one's probably not making the team. Nope. So, I haven't heard much out of either of them. I think Shi had a pretty decent day the other day at practice, actually, as a receiving wise. So that's good for him. I don't care which one really gets it. and which one doesn't. But yeah, if I had to take a wild guess, I'd say Shi Smith. But Damiere Byrd's got speed. I mean, Damiere Byrd's one of the last people that returned a kick for the Panthers.
Was the last guy to return a punt for a touchdown.
A punt?
He returned a punt for a touchdown, and it was like.
Do you know who the last person was that returned a kick return?
Oh, no idea.
I'll give you a hint. It was 2017.
Was it Tate again?
No.
God, don't know. Legit.
Kalen Clay. Yep. Yeah, I think it was 2017. I think it was somewhere around there, but yeah, Kalen Clay. I think, if I'm not mistaken, was the last person that returned a kick for the Panthers.
Not great.
So,
But yeah, I kind of agree with you on this. I think with the battle for punt returner / kick returner between Damiere Byrd and Shi Smith, I think it's Damiere Byrd is definitely the better returner because he has more. He's proven it more. But I think if Shi Smith can continue to develop as an actual wide receiver, they might end up. That might be what gives him the edge, right? Because he has 2 more years on his contract. Mm-hmm. If he can sit there and show like, okay, I'm developing as a wide receiver, and I can return punts and kicks, he'll be more valuable than Damiere Byrd, who's older. So I agree with you. Should probably be Shi Smith, but I'm rooting for Byrd as well.
Right, absolutely. Next, let's jump to this real quick. Hayden Hurst has kind of been the only talked about tight end, and even he hasn't been very talked about. I don't think the tight ends are really getting much media presence or anything right now. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to really talk about the tight end position when nothing's being talked about.
I think somebody asked one of the reporters something, and they were like, "Yeah, Hayden Hurst looks good, but pretty much everybody else except for like Rishi just hasn't really shown up as much as they should." Hopefully, I mean, again, early training camp, anything can happen. Although I did see a quote from George Pickens yesterday about one Mr. Darnell Washington, and he's basically like, "By the way, if this dude figures it out and can stay healthy, he's probably going to be one of the best tight ends to ever play the game." So, a little bit of hurt.
I hope DJ Johnson was worth it.
I'm not even going to talk about it.
Yeah. All I'm saying is if DJ Johnson is a bust or just is a failure and Darnell is a once-in-a-lifetime, that is one thing that I will not forgive Frank Reich and Scott Fitt for, because that is rough.
Yep.
All right, next. Cade Mays is getting guard reps right now. He is getting... Where was Austin Corbett?
I believe Austin Corbett was a right guard.
So he's getting right guard reps.
Yep.
Because Austin Corbett is still out, and if he's on the PUP list, he has to miss a minimum of at least 4 weeks.
Yep. So that would be right now. I think that would probably carry you into the first week. It'd be somewhere. If you're in the PUP list, you're not going to play the first week of the NFL season, even if you can come back, unless you're just like a stud. Which Austin Corbett's a stud, but he's also coming off an ACL tear as an offensive lineman. So I think you want to give him as much time as possible to be prepared.
I would rather I would rather him wait and just come back when he's fully healthy than try to push back too fast and re-injure it. But at the same time, it's hard to come back from a ACL injury, definitely a lineman.
Mm-hmm.
But since you were just a minute ago talking about being quiet, Terrace Marshall Jr. has been extremely quiet this entire camp. Nothing has come out of TMJ. I haven't heard a single thing. I've heard he's had a couple good reps here and there, but all the eyes have been on different receivers. So I don't know if he isn't getting the reps, or if he's not getting the looks, if he's not getting the ball thrown to him enough. Or when he is, he's just not doing anything flashy. But I don't like the fact that we've sat here all off season hyped up and hyped up and hyped up and hyped up, and this man hasn't done. We haven't seen anything. We haven't heard anything.
Yep.
So that kind of bothers me a little bit. So
it's a little bit worrisome for me as well. I think I saw, again, completely just trying to remember Twitter reports at the moment. I'm pretty sure someone was talking about it where they had really been trying to get Bryce to work with the older receivers more, with Adam Thielen and DJ Chark and Laviska. Even though I know Laviska isn't that much older than TMJ, but he's got more experience. So maybe it's just a thing of maybe Andy Dalton is working more with Terrace Marshall than Bryce is, and just he's not getting as much media attention as you said. And I agree with you. Like, TMJ really is the piece that's going to either unlock the potential of the offense, as we've been saying the whole time, right? And I would go, and you've had opportunities. The Panthers have had opportunities to get other receivers who could potentially, or a receiver or tight end or whoever, to bring in and try to replace him. Well, I don't want to say replace him, but come in and be there. And they didn't take the opportunity because clearly they believe in him. So he has to show up this year, because next year, if you don't show up this year and your name isn't Jonathan Mingo, you're probably not going to have a job, because the Panthers are going to sit there and they're going to go, we're going into year 2 with Bryce Young. We have a good amount of money, and there's a lot of receivers that could potentially be free agents next year. So if you ain't good, you're gone.
What is the potential of, let's say, they're not going to get rid of Mingo. They select him
Mingo's
in the
staying.
round.
Mingo's safe.
Chark is safe. Viska's safe. Thielen's safe.
Well, the only thing I'd say, though, is Thielen is safe, but Viska and Chark are both on the last year of their deal.
True. They're on 1-year deals, which, yeah. What is the chances, though? But the way them other two have looked, which we're going to talk about, they look like they're going to be safe right now.
Mm-hmm.
What is the chances of TMJ not making it this season on this team?
I don't think he has to worry about not making the team. I'll go down next year. It could really show. If he is a wide receiver 4 on this team going into this year, that's going to be rough. That's going to be rough for him, and I could see him getting cut after the year is over. Because again, it's just
getting traded halfway through the season.
Yeah, because it's going to be one of those things where it's like we have a set period of time where we can go out and we can basically, I don't want to say pay anybody we want to, but we can pay more than a lot of other teams because we have a rookie QB. You can't sit there and go, oh, we're going to let you develop, and then you just don't do anything yet. Now, again, it's early. We don't know. And, Terrace Marshall probably, hopefully, is going to come out in the middle of the season, and he's just going to ball out, and we're all going to forget about this conversation. But because it's training camp, we have to talk about it. So, not hating. We're just discussing.
Right. Now, on to the next guy. The guy that's low-key been kind of killing it in practice. DJ Chark has looked absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
That man has looked insane. And to prove to you how insane this man has looked, pull this back. And this is none of my stuff. This is all from Twitter, not from the Panthers Twitter. This is all from, well, I think this video actually is from Panthers Twitter. Oh well. But yes, this is not my video, by the way. You can see it?
Yep. What a beautiful ball.
Beautiful catch by DJ, but an even better ball. I don't care what you Twitter sport media wannabes think here. People say this is underthrown. No, that is a perfect ball. Here's why. Because Bryce threw this on his outside shoulder where this guy right here, this DB that plays for any 31 other teams, cannot grab. Mm-hmm. So, one of two things happens here. Either this receiver, which DJ did, make a fantastic catch, or he misses and it hits the ground. There's nothing. I'd rather every pass being incomplete than him throw one interception. This type of ball doesn't get thrown by many NFL players and or NFL QBs, especially rookies. That's insane. Like, if you really think about it, it's rare that this happens, especially for a rookie. So, with that being said, DJ's killing it.
Yep.
And so is the guy that's throwing in the ball, which is why he was named QB1, which I don't know why everybody freaked out that he was being named QB1, because I'm pretty sure they named him QB1.
They said it before that.
So I don't know. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, he's QB1." I'm like, he's been QB1 for like a month. Whatever. Next guy that's been killing it, Laviska. Why is Laviska killing it? Pretty simple, because Laviska Shenault is the Deebo Samuel of this offense. This man's not going to be a receiver. He's going to be a do-it-all type back, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I would expect some type of reverse this season. 100%.
100%.
100. You got Visca and Chark? Absolutely.
Yep.
100%. I don't care.
It's happening.
I do not care. Or a triple option. Bryce to Miles to Visca. Come on, dude. There's so many, dude. Like, the more I sit down when I'm driving, the more when I'm just doing whatever, where I'm just playing a game or something, just chilling, just hanging out, thinking about Panthers season this year. I'm getting more and more excited because of what this team can do. I'm telling you, this team is going to be different. I'm not expecting a Super Bowl. I'm not expecting the NFC Championship, but I am 100% expecting the Panthers to win this division. There's no reason they can't win their division. There's no reason, in my opinion, they can't sweep two opponents in this division. Sadly, I think they won and won with the Saints, but the Falcons and the Bucks are terrible. I don't care what people say. They're awful. There's nothing you can tell me that makes me think, well, now they'll probably be all right. No, they're terrible. They're not good. Definitely the Bucks. I don't want to hear anything. Falcons fans have a little bit more that they can argue, but the Bucks do not. You have Baker Mayfield. Let me tell you what that does for you.
Baker Bumfield.
If Baker Mayfield is a Buccaneer by the end of this season, I'd be surprised. That's all I'm saying. But, so that's Visca. Good for Visca. Real quick, next. For some odd reason, there's still been zero news on a defensive end coming to this team. I don't know why. I don't like it. It's very aggravating. We've worked out defensive ends. We've been cutting wide receivers all week and signing quarterbacks. Okay, they're just signing camp bodies. That's fine, but stop it. Like, you need a defensive end. And while we're on the defensive end subject, Danielle Hunter is rumored to be up for trade. Make the call. 100%. 10.5 sacks last year. 10.5.
Yep.
Because what it seems like from what I've been seeing and hearing and stuff, that this coaching staff isn't very high on all the Matt Rule guys. So it can't be that hard to come in and take YGM's position. Probably wouldn't be that hard to come in and take Marquise Haynes' position. So just make the call. See what they want. If they want a third, be a fifth, fourth and a seventh, whatever. Fourth and a sixth, third and a fifth, send it. I don't care.
Yep.
If he can come over here and get 10.5 sacks, absolutely, send it. Because him getting 10.5 means Brian's probably getting 18. I don't care.
Yep.
I don't care.
And even if you don't want to do a trade, I mean, as we've said multiple times, even Jadeveon Clowney is a free agent. He's sitting right there.
Ngakwe is still a free agent.
Yep. And
Yannick doesn't fit the system as much, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yes,
Clowney how many sacks did Jadeveon Clowney have? Jadeveon Clowney had, I think.
Did he have like 11?
I need to look. Let's see. How many sacks you have, bud? In 2022, he had 2.
Oh.
But in 2021, he had 9. All right. So I just go,
them two together. That's what it was.
If you add them together, it's 11. Okay.
Yeah.
Totally counts. But I don't know. He's that veteran defensive end that can help you develop some of your younger guys. You figure it out. Obviously, I'd kind of prefer Hunter, obviously, but we'll see what happens. They're probably not going to sign anybody, and then we're going to be halfway through the season, and everybody's going to be like, oh my God, where's the pass rush? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm be like, oh, well, had opportunities. He just didn't do it. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope and pray like Marquise Haynes or, DJ Johnson come out, absolutely ball out. Both of them turn into studs. And I'm just like, oh, eat my words. I will eat my words if that happens, but I just don't see it happening. I think they'll both be pretty good, but not elite. And we need somebody elite or at least very good next to Brian Burns.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can't really say much after that. He's pretty much said it all. Yep. I mean, because there's nothing you've got to have something, seriously. Or YGM has to take an incredible step this year.
An insane step. A literal, seriously. I mean, not even a step. The whole league.
Seven stats at the minimum.
Homie has to take the biggest leap you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm talking world record leap. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, if we put all our marbles on YGM, if he doesn't get at least 7 sacks, it's a disappointment. I don't care. 100%.
Shoot, I'd say like 9, but cool.
But
fact.
Next, since we're talking about the defense still,
okay.
C.J. Henderson is probably just really pissed off that he didn't get his 5th year picked up.
Yep.
And now he's finally pulling his head out of his tail and going, okay, yeah, these guys don't like me. They don't trust me. So I need to actually show up. And he's been showing out this season. This season. This training camp.
Training camp.
Yeah, he's been showing out.
Yep.
So I think he had a pick 6 the other day on Andy Dalton.
And he had a pick 6 on Andy Dalton. He had a crazy one-handed pick today. I don't know if you saw that. That was crazy. Haven't heard a lot out of one Mr. Dante Jackson. Just have to see what happens there.
Maybe really heard much out of any of the corners.
Nope, not really.
Which, to be fair, I guess on corners it's better to not hear anything than to hear a lot.
Yep, that's true.
Because normally you're like, okay, JC just got burned.
Yeah, most of the time they call people out. They're like, yeah, you got.
Sauce Gardner was having some trouble the other day with like a 5th or 6th round pick, and they were like, "Oh, this guy's," because he dusted Sauce in practice the other day. So
that's like that Kyle Hamilton thing from last year, whenever he got burned by that like undrafted rookie, and everybody was like, "Oh, this dude's a bum." It's like, you do realize that he's a safety, not a corner, right? Well, it's different for Sauce because obviously Sauce is a corner, but I mean, like, come on, everybody gets beat. Unless you're 2009 Darrelle Revis. And then you don't get beat.
That man shut everybody down.
Yep.
All right. Next. NFL Top 100 came out. Not all of it. There's somewhere in the 40s, I think, now. But
yep.
Brian Burns was probably the only Panther on there, which is insanely disrespectful. Because Derek Brown should be on that list. But Brian Burns was ranked 54th. He's actually up 20-some spots because he was a 78 last.
70
something.
70
somewhere in the mid to high 70s.
He was in there.
So good for Burns. Just a little
thing
going on, but Derek Brown should be in that 100%. I'd love to be able to start seeing some more Panthers get in there, even though that list doesn't really mean crap. It doesn't. I mean, it's not. It's really not. But because number one's gonna be Patrick Mahomes. Everybody knows it. There's no one else that's getting number one. Mm-hmm. The only person that you could argue probably getting it could be Jalen Hurts, and I'm still not saying it. It's still Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes will be the number one to get it every year until Patrick Mahomes retires. So, one last thing before we get into Bryce Young and talk more about Bryce Young. In the preseason, you're not going to see Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton. So if you're an Andy Dalton fan, sorry
for you.
Because it was said the other day that Bryce Young and Matt Corral will be getting most of the preseason reps. Now, Bryce Young, understandable, but I don't want him in longer than 3 series. in any of the games. Don't care. I don't want him getting out there injured. Why? Well, what if he don't get injured? Well, we said that about Matt Corral. You know what that's saying? So, with that being said, Matt Corral's getting a lot of the reps for two reasons. One, we need to know if we're keeping a third quarterback, which he would probably be put on the quarterback position part where he's not counted.
He has a count toward an active roster spot.
Correct. Right. And two, Matt Corral's also playing. He is doing a
trade bait.
He's trade bait. Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yep. Sorry about
That's
it.
all this is.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. But hey, if he can go somewhere else and ball out, go for it.
Good for him.
Good for him. I'd love to go see Corral ball out.
Yep. As we've been saying, we don't, or at least I've been saying. Aaron obviously doesn't hate him, and I don't hate him, but I know some people think I probably do, just because I'm always sitting there saying, "Yeah, I trade him." Don't hate the kid, but I said it the day we traded for Baker Mayfield. I was like, "Yep, he's screwed."
You killed Matt Corral's chances.
Yeah, the second you traded for that man.
And that's the thing. Carolina could have not traded, and honestly, I feel like all this has been a blessing in disguise.
True.
Because last year at this time, we're going, oh God, like we're gonna be so bad.
Yep.
Like
terrible.
We're having a QB battle of Sam Darnold
and Baker Mayfield.
Traded
for a guy and made him battle for the spot. Smart.
Drafted a rookie and then made him battle for that spot.
Made him battle for that fourth spot. Made him battle for the third spot with the guy that you were going to cut.
I was talking about Icky.
Oh, Kim? Yeah, well, that's also true. You did make him
battle for a spot with nobody. Just about everybody had to battle for a spot.
Mm-hmm.
But,
notice how a real NFL coaching staff doesn't do that? If you're a stud or you're a high pick, you get the spot. Yeah. That's great.
All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
One day we'll go back over that whole scenario where, Matt Rule's entire summary. Here's what it is with quarterback. Lied to us about Cam Newton. Signed a QB to a 3-year deal. Honestly, 3-year deal wasn't even the issue. What the issue is then after the first year, you said, nah, I'm good. Then you traded for a quarterback. Then after a year, you said, and you picked up his 5th-year option before ever seeing him. Then you decide, I don't know. Then you traded up to get a quarterback in the draft. And then, after the draft, you traded for another quarterback. And then you sat there, you had the 2 quarterbacks that you traded for compete for the starting job. You had the quarterback you traded up for, had him compete with a guy.
You missed a part in that.
Oh, what'd I miss?
You re-signed Cam Newton.
Oh, yeah, you did re-sign
Brought him back. He looked like shit. And then you blamed it all on him for losing.
Fact, he did do that. Then, with the traded up for a QB, you made him battle for the 3rd-string quarterback spot.
It's the guy that you
were going to cut. It literally came out that we were going to cut him. He was gone, pretty much, until the Sam Darnold injury. Mm-hmm. He was going to be gone.
If Darnold wouldn't have got injured, PJ Walker wouldn't have been on the football team last year.
He'd have been gone. And you had him battling. Your third round pick was sitting there battling with a guy that wasn't going to make the roster. And it, I hate that son gun. Oh, I hate him so much. Oh, I hate him. That man really ruined.
Panther fans that sat and went through the COVID years is what I'm going to call it. The Panthers COVID years were rough.
Matt Rule really ruined so many careers.
We sat at home and all didn't do anything and got fat and it just didn't do nothing and waited for the season. And when the season got here, we did this. And it was like, oh my God. It was brutal. Like, it was awful. Now, let's end this on a positive note and stop talking about a fat meal. So, number 1. I'm sorry, should I say number 9?
Number 9, baby.
QB9.
There we go. There's that one.
Ball's a little shaky, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it.
Don't matter.
Beautiful pass to Adam Thielen.
Here's
This
here's
of
that
course
big
was the
throw.
pass to DJ Sharp.
Dog.
Yeah, that one's so beautiful, dude, to watch. This is Bryce getting left hanging by this kid. So,
Get wrecked.
boom, blow it up
Bum.
yourself. Don't worry about it. How dare he? Let's see.
How dare you?
There's some passing of the torch.
Okay, now, yep.
This video, all the boys vibing,
Yep.
hanging out. Andy Dalton looks like he shouldn't be there. Ah, here we go. What should we call the Bryce Young fan club?
I don't. Oh,
Bryce Brigade. Younger Knots. I don't. That's awful.
that's terrible.
The young and the restless. The
Ew.
younglings.
Gross.
Youngsters.
Nope.
NFL young boys.
That was pretty good.
I do like that one. Bryce babies. That's weird. That's
Nope.
insanely creepy.
Nope.
Residents of Youngstown.
Not bad.
Youngins. I
Nope.
do like youngins.
Nope.
Hate youngins.
Nope.
Okay. Bryceties, kind of like besties. None of these
Definitely
really
NFL
are-
young boys, and then you have Luke Sawyer over there, the young boys.
Oh yeah, the young boys. Yeah, they just kind of sound awful. I should say. That's all I'm saying. It don't seem too good.
It's bad.
But yeah, I mean, there's been nothing but good stuff about Bryce. Here we go.
Oh, here, Bryce again.
This is a great pass. Him Domingo.
Yep.
Boom. Beautiful. God,
boys
beautiful,
doing
beautiful, beautiful. Oh, here's another one. Bryce to DJ. These guys have been cooking this week. Beautiful.
Corner in the end zone.
What's crazy is how we went from talking about one DJ to another. Here we go. Another
Last
Bryce
one.
to DJ.
Bang.
Boom. Bread basket.
Is that on Keith Taylor? Oh, yep, that's Keith Taylor.
Bum boy. Now, that's pretty much all I had, but I do have these real quick. This was today.
We fighting. For real. I wonder if... I don't know who 74 is. That's my question. Gotta do some quick. Very quick. 74 is Larnell Coleman from UMass.
All right. Well, you're
I don't
fired.
know. What was that defensive line? What number was that defensive? Like 40. 40. What is it? 40.
That's 98, I think.
No, I don't know about that one.
Watch.
It's like
Oh,
48.
48.
He's 48. Let's see who 48 is. Oh, come here, bud. I gotta find it. 48 is Jordan Thomas, a linebacker from Mississippi State.
You know what I like about this video? Watch this right here. This is Jamie Robinson watching. He's like, really? Alright, I'm just gonna go away.
He backs up. Peace out, nerd.
He's like, y'all are just gonna be stupid. I'm walking away.
Oh, I should also mention this. I didn't know if you saw this,
TV.
but yeah,
I
a lot of
wanna
them
know-
rolled in. But
I wanna
P&P
know-
also said that Brandon Smith was getting fourth string linebacker reps, by the way, behind
That's not
a
good.
couple other people.
That's not good. Also, by the way, after this fight broke out at the end of practice, they all had to run gassers.
Fair.
That's hilarious. Now, I want to talk about this. This video right here is from Will Kunkel. This video, if you love Brian Burns, your love for him is going to gain even more after this video. It's almost like, okay, so pretty much Will Kunkel asked him, hey, why are you here? You know, you could hold out, but you're not. Why?
Oh, yeah.
This is what he says. I couldn't miss out on my guys. He missed OTA, he missed all in general, and he misses being out there with the defense. He said they have something special going on, and of course every team says that around this time of year. But yeah, it's like hope. He said he knows that he's a big key to this special thing that's about to happen, and the only way for him to, really be a part of it is by being there with the guys.
Yep, he is a big piece of it. Only pass rush we got.
Exactly, and he knows that. So he knows that. I think a big thing about him though is he knows he's about to get paid.
Yeah, you better get paid.
But he also wants to be. He wants to be there for the team, which I love.
Yep.
So,
Shout out.
Yeah, that's all we got.
We love you, birds.
So right, but we will talk soon. We'll do a pack the bank here the next couple days.
Soon we'll have to do a roster prediction.
When we do need to sit down and talk about a roster prediction, we might do that next weekend.
Sounds good to me.
So, all right, well, like, subscribe, click the bell notification so you know when Pack the Bank, Packers Corner, and Panthers Corner have all dropped videos, because we try to drop 3 videos a week. I mean, just, hey, let us know in the comments what you think, Panther fans. What do you think about this stuff? What do you think about the wide receivers? What do you think about Bryce Young? What do you think about who should we sign? A defensive, let me know right now in the comments, a defensive edge we should sign right now. Who should Scott Fitt pick the phone up and make the phone call to? Who should we sign? Let me know in the comments. You can follow me down below at the Panthers Den. Follow me, hit me up, DM me. I'll talk about anything all the time. I'm always down to talk about Panthers football, man. Other than that, that's all I got tonight. From me and CK and the boys, keep pounding.